What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday morning to you. Welcome to another episode of it. Well, I can't even say another episode, Coach, because this is the first episode of the Daily Move podcast. No Huddle version, a shortened, condensed version of our podcast just to get some more content out there. As always, I'm your co-host, Andrew Daley, joined by my main man and co-host, Coach Steve Move Scaling. Coach, how's your week going, man?
Pretty good, man. Happy to be kicking this off. No huddle style, fast up tempo. Trying to put 7 on the board here. Just glad to be talking some ball with you, man.
Dude, we ran through an hour and 2 minutes so quickly on Tuesday night. The thing went so quick. We have to get more content out there. The people they're wanting it, man. They're asking for it. They're begging for it. I know. Thank you to our listeners out there. Over 72,000 hits this week across all platforms. Make sure you're out there. If you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, share, whatever it is, anywhere you listen to your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Good Pods, number 1 sports podcast in the week. 2 weeks running now, Coach. We got some good stuff going on, and this No Huddle show that we're going to be doing again. It's a little bit quicker. It's not going to be aired live, but the video is going to be aired and the audio is going to be aired Friday mornings for you guys to listen to. I hope you guys' weeks are going well. If you're enjoying getting ready to go on spring break, have safe travel wherever you're going. We're going to dive right into our first segment here, Coach, and our first topic, okay? It's me and you argue about this quite often. It's about the old school mentality versus the new school mentality. It's about fake versus not fake. It's about coaching styles or whatever it might be. We talked about on Tuesday night about Coach Fran Brown and his jersey number. We were in agreement there. So I want to see if we're going to be in agreement here. All right. Something came out from head coach Charles Huff, who's a proven winner. All right. This guy, he wins wherever he's a great coach. He's been wherever he's at. He's the head coach at University of Memphis right now. And he's been getting some attention, Coach, in headlines because he goes out and he did an interview and he said, quote, "When the Navy SEALs get ready to go do a mission, they're not out there listening to Lil Baby," okay? And I am not butchering that name enough, okay? He says, "If I got to play music to get you ready to play at a high level, we've got the wrong guys." I'll let you go first here. Yeah, I'll let you go first, man. Yeah, I know you got a lot to say here.
I'll just say, excuse me if I don't throw up in my mouth reading that. Coach, I just think overall.
Go off, baby. Go off.
I can't stand this. So obviously, Coach Huff, was with Nick Saban, right? Was a right-hand man at Alabama. He went to Marshall. They tried to not extend his contract. They were going to fire him, and then he goes and wins a conference championship. Leaves for Southern Miss, who was the worst team in the conference. Makes it to a conference championship with them, and now he's arrived at his next stop as well at Memphis, who has a ton of resources and is looking to be one of those programs that's going to bust the college football playoff as a group of 5. So, again, our disclaimer, these professionals know more than us, right? We're just sharing some fun thoughts here, but I hate this, right? When you go to an NFL game, what are they playing in the stadium? When a boxing heavyweight match comes on or a UFC, what do they play when you walk to the ring, right?
I know they play theme music, but are they constantly playing music when they're training?
They should.
Or when they're practicing, because I know NFL does it.
Definitely,
I mean, NFL does it, but those guys you're talking about the elitist of the elite at the NFL level.
Yeah,
and I get what you're saying. I disagree with you here, and I'm not saying I've never listened to music at practice, but it's easier said than done at the high school level because sometimes you don't have the means to do it. You don't have speakers accessible. You try and bring out the little block rocker or something, and it just comes off as weird.
Yeah,
I think there's a time and place for music during practice, but dude, when I'm trying to go through my install or something like that, and I got 60 kids and 10 of them, maybe if I'm lucky, are paying attention, and the other 50 are over there screwing around. The last thing I need is them doing some TikTok dance or something like that. I mean, call me what you want. Call me old school. We have fun. I get it, but dude, I think at certain levels it's okay. And once you get comfortable enough in the season to where, you got a firm grasp of the offense or whatever it might be, then yeah, we'll put some music on. Or here's a great example. We did and I'm a quarterback at heart, man, and that's how I coach my team. I hate full contact. You know, with the restrictions in New Jersey, you're barely allowed to do full contact anyway during practice. I hate full contact, but we'll do a tackling drill during camp and, get the guys fired up. And I'm, Coach Carp is working with me, and it's the second time I mentioned Coach Carp now. Coach Carp is with me this year, and we did this, this hitting drill last year, and he just happened to have a little speaker on him, and he's trying to play the music through the little speaker, and I'm like, it's just not getting the job done. We need something louder. So in that hitting drill, I would have loved a little AC/DC or Hell's Bells or I don't know. Yeah, give me some Lil Baby. I don't care. Like I'm into some of that stuff too. But dude, so time and place for me.
I laugh. Yeah, I agree. So I was the other side. We had portable, gigantic Bluetooth speakers we used to roll out to practice when I was at Clearview.
Really?
Coach, it would blast like the leaves off the trees where we were practicing.
You had so like loud. DJ style speakers, like
yes, it was awesome. It was incredible. But we would have periods where it was like, all right, this is a teach period, kill the music. Or I would, but to your point, there were times I need to fix and explain something immediately, and 65 of us are yelling over at the kid next to the speaker who's supposed to be turning it down, but he's talking to the kid next to him and they're dancing, So you're right.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, at what point do you are you trying to coach, but your wide receiver is over there dancing or something? I'm like, dude, what are we doing? Like, so pay attention, bro.
I heard two things. So I'd heard a guy that I coached with before said when he was around BYU, colleges are different. They have DJs, like they had a coach in the booth or, a DJ in the booth, and he would play music and he would go over the speaker, period 7, inside run. So people would break to where they were going with the timer too. Yeah. I'll tell you what else I saw, Coach. He's talking about Navy SEALs and Special Forces and Delta Team. I'm pretty sure I saw a video recently of a Black Hawk helicopter and dudes blasting Chief Keef. So like they were on the way to do some dirt. Next thing you know, the president of Venezuela is getting brought in cuffs and they were blasting music. So I don't know.
Coach Move. Right, Coach Move is the fact checker of all fact checkers. So listen, Coach Huff, you might have to call into the Daily Move podcast and have a little conversation with us and see what we got going on. But hey, I know, you're new school. I'm new school too, but I don't know.
And he's not wrong. If you have to play music to get somebody to do something all the time.
I was never that way. Dude, I was a self-starter, dude. I was quiet. I didn't need the loud music in the locker room. Some of the kids love it. I would be the guy sitting in the corner before our games with headphones in because I didn't want to hear anything else,
Dude, it's funny.
I wasn't listening to nothing crazy, dude. I might have been listening to like gospel, not gospel music, but it's like soul. I don't know, dude. Something just calm down, calm my nerves.
Funny you say that. I liked, I remember listening to all the Eminems when they first came out, especially as young stuff, man. Or Wu-Tang. Like I love Wu-Tang still to this day.
Yeah.
But before games in college, I would get my nerves so worked up, I would get sick. And I would listen to like Led Zeppelin, like long, slow, ballad, calm, dazed and confused, repetitive melt riffs, and it just kind of keep me calm enough to get me close to kickoff, where then it was like, all right, whatever we're listening to in the locker room, I'm good to go.
Yeah, for sure. That's cool, man. That's good stuff. And like I said, Coach Huff, he might know a little bit more than we do, but it's fun to talk about. We're moving forward. I just want to thank everybody on our social media who has made these player to watch graphics. Coach, you do a great job putting these together. The player to watch posts, they've been awesome, and they've gotten so much traction throughout South Jersey, and even we talked a couple weeks ago about making sure that the coaches have an input and say. The coaches have been awesome about getting back to us and hey, thanks for shining a light on South Jersey football, and that's what we've been doing. And we're going to take just a couple minutes here to kind of go through the first couple of divisions that we dropped, the American division and the Colonial division. Excuse me, the Classic division. We're going to talk about them today, and then we'll talk about the couple following divisions on the No Huddle segment next week. But we're going to start things off here But the players to watch in the American division, and I'm going to start things off, and then I'll let you kind of take over from there. First player up is Atlantic City quarterback Marvin Burrows. And Marvin Burrows, okay, dynamic player. You watch his film. Great year last year. Sophomore season had 2,679 yards, 30 touchdowns. Right, team won 10 games, and they played in back-to-back sectional titles, which is, Coach Wright down there at Atlantic City is doing an awesome job with those guys. And what a great dude he is too, man. Just to talk to, and he's got the ship going in the right direction. I just remember watching Marvin's dad. I would have to assume, and if it's not, forgive me, but Marvin Burrows, back when I was, in high school, he played quarterback at Villanova, and just such a dynamic and elusive player. And I see a lot in Marvin here, watching his film. The guy can do it with his arms or with his arm. He can do it with his legs, and he's proven to get that done. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on in that American division this coming season.
Yeah, great player, like you mentioned, Coach Wright. Coach Mancuso, Buddy Mancuso, in their weight room, he has those kids lifting. They're in there like 6 days a week sometimes. They lift over winter break. They're in there on Saturdays. He takes them to competitions. Their staff is really, really good. And there's no doubt that's why they're one of the top programs in the area. They're in this top division. Coach, I'm going to shift gears and jump over. Just a reminder, too, like this is not definitive. We're shining lights on players. We're not slighting anybody. The real list to make is postseason. So, everybody, we can't wait to see what you do this season.
Open for sponsorships, by the way.
Yeah, so Kingsway Dragons, right? Coach Mark Hendricks, one of the best coaches around. He's an all-timer, All-American from when he was the linebacker days at Rowan. He was defense coordinator at Rowan. He was a coach at JMU. Is coaching at the high school level. It's a steal. Kingsway should do whatever he wants them to do in terms of administration to keep him happy because he's unreal. Great person. But they have a running back, Cole DeNick. Cole had 1,115 yards and 21 rushing touchdowns this past year. He had another 450 yards receiving and 4 more touchdowns. He was a Division I lacrosse committed to Rutgers. Absolute hammer on the field. Huge, awesome, explosive plays. Helped them add another sectional championship for the Dragons this past fall. Great player, great film to watch. So, Coach, just to tell people, so when I was coaching in college, I watched film like crazy. So I had probably in the class I was there for the entire year, I had evaluated like 700 players, 500 of which that I thought were college football players at some level. So we watched the film, Mike, and we love what you guys did. And Cole's made a ton of plays as the rest of his team did. And looking forward to what he does as a senior as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people would argue, but if you're local to South Jersey, man, that Group 5 state championship game was played the week before the actual Group 5 state championship game with Kingsway and Washington Township, and that was a fun game to watch, man.
Coach, I think Cole was injured for that game as well.
Yeah,
too.
I'm just saying it's a testament to what Coach Hendricks is doing down there and stuff like that. So, looking forward to watching him play this year. And who you got next?
Yeah, Coach, then we're taking a look at Millville. Millville, another phenomenal program. Coach Ayala and his staff are doing a tremendous job taking over for Coach Dennis Thomas, who's then going on to Rutgers. He's now at Syracuse, coaching at the collegiate level. Reggie Holly had 1,024 yards receiving and 9 touchdowns through the air. He added 396 yards rushing, so he's obviously predominantly more of a receiver as a weapon offensively. Explosive, crazy game speed, huge plays all year, but he added 10 more rushing touchdowns.
Wow.
So, like, when they needed something tough, he was the guy that they went to. So another great player. And again, it's crazy we have this amount of talent coming back next season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you talk about that and just moving right along. You got St. Augustine running back Roman Coney. This is the third year in a row, or I'm sorry, this is the third running back in a row from St. Augustine that's a Division I prospect. He's already got a dozen offers.
Yep.
He had 987 yards and 15 touchdowns last year.
And you know what, Coach? I'm going to blame a coach on that one. How do we not get this dude 13? I'm going to assume that a statistician somewhere made a mistake. That guy definitely had 13 more yards to clear that 1,000-yard mark.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. But you talk about that, and the guy's been starting since his freshman year. Listen, St. Augustine, right? They're going through a coaching change, and a new coach I don't think has been announced yet, but whoever takes over this program, there's your workhorse right there.
Yeah.
Roman Coney coming back next year, looking to do big things as he continues to do in his high school career.
Yeah, it makes it easy, right, Coach? The easy button.
Oh my goodness. I got, listen, we'll talk about my guys when we come up to the national division. I got some horses too, baby.
No
So
doubt.
we got some guys that make it easy, but yes, it definitely makes your job a little bit easier when you got a guy back there in the backfield that you can trust, turn the ball and hand him the ball and let him go to work for sure.
No doubt. Coach, we're going to shift gears and flip to the other side of the ball and the other parts of the position, looking at the Group 5 state champion Washington Township Minutemen. Defensive lineman, Gabe Palaganas. Gabe is lightning quick as a defensive lineman, powerfully built. Coach Hearn and the strength staff there have always done a phenomenal job. They've had these kids lifting since about 6th grade. They start them off. Gabe had 73 tackles this year, Coach, but even more impressive, 26 tackles for a loss.
Wow.
And when you watch him on film, he is just tossing linemen into the running back's legs. If you try to pull on him, he's beating the lineman to where the play's going. He's just a car crash in the backfield. I texted Coach Schatz. Obviously, they have some other players. They have a really, really good running back. If you saw the state championship returning as well, I know you saw it as well, Coach. But he said, no, man, I think Gabe's a great choice. I wish we had more of them because he's a great player. He said he makes it easy.
Yeah, I've seen him firsthand. We do camp together every summer with Washington Township. So we go there. We're a little Group 1 school, but our kids go out there and compete. And a lot of these guys, like Coach Schatzman said, that you got coming back, dude, watch out for them again this year for sure.
No doubt, no doubt. And then the last player on our list, this is an incredible division, Coach, when you look at this talent.
It's loaded.
And these teams
absolutely loaded.
All playing against each other. The scheduling committee does these programs no favors trying to copy the SEC. But we're shifting gears looking at Winslow. And you look at Winslow, it's an incredibly talented roster. Obviously, first person that comes to mind with a quarterback like Jalen Parker, what he's been able to do since his freshman year. But Coach Belton said, I kind of want to shine some light here. We got a DB, Mekhi McNair, long, rangy corner, probably projects as a corner at the next level. He's starting to rack up some offers. I think he was just officially rated as a 3-star prospect. So you guys don't know, 3 stars are the most amount of prospects that make it to the NFL. Like when we watch the NFL draft, there's more 3 stars drafted than anything else. So just a huge upside. And Coach, something that was cool when I was watching his film, his first 3 plays are, first play is kickoff. He destroys somebody, causes a fumble. Then he's in press man-to-man on a slot receiver, covering somebody trying to go vertical downfield, high point interception, returns it for about another 40 yards. And then the next play again, kickoff again. So just not just the big play ability to take the football away and contribute to turnovers, but then the flip side of it of the willingness to play special teams. Like if I'm a coach at a power school that's trying to recruit them and I see that too, I'm like, guys, we need this dude.
For sure. And that kind of makes me excited about the fact that we open up the season at Gateway with 4 straight Thursday night games, because I'm going to be able to catch some of these games, man, because like you said, the schedule, there's no favors in this division for sure. Listen, that was our players to watch for the American division, stacked division. It's going to be fun to watch how this progresses over the course of the season. We're going to move on to our last division that we're going to cover here today on the Daily Move podcast, no huddle version. And we're going to talk about the classic division. First up, an intriguing prospect, man, from Camden, Andre Robinson. Talk a little bit about him for a second.
Yeah, Coach, you talk about, one of the best in the business around, one of my favorite guys I got to watch from a distance and then get to learn about directly as I became a coach with Coach Henson, Hall of Fame coach. He, won championships at Timber Creek. Now he's back at his alma mater at the High, and they're winning state championship. So, he's done a phenomenal job, continues to develop guys. I love hearing him talk about how he talks to college evaluators. Like he told me recently, we were talking about in South Jersey about guys being offered. And he said, he's like, I tell guys like, yo, don't even offer my guys if you're not going to let them commit. And I think that's a great thing in New Jersey. And we'll talk about that on a longer episode with us about, offers that are real and not. This guy is going to continue to get a ton of real ones. Robinson, you look at his film, his body type as an edge player that can continue to get bigger. He's dynamic. He's making plays in the backfield. He's blowing up linemen trying to make plays. He's covering out of the backfield. He's kind of checking all those boxes of impacting on all three levels. And we know he's going to have a great future and be great for Camden this upcoming season. So definitely a great choice there.
For sure. And I watched some of his training videos on Instagram. This guy's training like an absolute freak, and it pays off, and it goes to show that, hard work does pay off. Staying on that same topic, another guy that checks all those boxes on defense here, you got Elias Blocker from Cedar Creek. Tell us about what you know.
Yeah, for Coach Melody, Cedar Creek, the Group 3 state champion. So again, this league, how many champions are we naming? Like, it's great football, and iron sharpens iron across the board. So another competitive division. Elias is a player who's played on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think he could project to either way. Like, he has a giant frame, massive wingspan, length in his arms, but a big-time game disruptor on the defensive line. And, Coach, watching his film, you can't get away from him. Like, once he is even with an offensive lineman, he bench presses that dude out of the way. You're not getting away with him with that wingspan, a big-time playmaker. And Coach Melody, I know, is extremely happy that he has one more year with Elias coming back next year.
Yeah, and I know talk about being happy with one more year. How about having Xavier Sabb coming back for one more year at Glassboro? 2 straight state championships down there for Glassboro Group 1. Now they're making the jump up to Group 2 a little bit. He's got 2 brothers at Alabama already, 896 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns this year. And he also added 4 interceptions on defense with a couple of nice returns there. Talk about a kid who, anytime he has the ball in his hands, has the ability to take it to the house. Sabb is that player. And Coach Breaker down there at Glassboro, he's got to be licking his chops, the fact that he's got Sabb coming back for one more year, and it'll be fun to see where he ends up.
No doubt, kind of an easy button when you're coaching, right? Yeah. Like, if we're in trouble.
That's probably the easiest button.
Yeah, Coach, I know when we were putting the little clips together about videos of each of these players, you can check out on our Daily Move podcast, reels on Instagram and social medias. Coach, I think I sent you like the first 3 plays from his highlight tape. I'm like, I don't know which one to pick, right? Yeah. One is he just, head top somebody, rips the ball out from their grip, jumping, he got mossed type of thing. The next play is he runs a slant, drops the hammer on the shoulder, bounces back out to the outside, takes it about 60 yards. The next one's a 99-yard interception return for a touchdown. So
take your pick, Coach.
Player. Yeah.
Who you got next? You got Dylan Granzow.
Yeah,
Holy Spirit. Talk about what you know about Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan's a great young player. Started off as a freshman at Mainland, helped contribute to a sectional championship run there, ends up at Spirit. While at Spirit, just brings to me, Coach, like, I know we talk about how do players prepare. Watching his film, watching him play, you can tell this kid is college level preparation at the high school level, which most of these kids, I'm going to say all of them that we talked about so far, have that in common, right? Mm-hmm. Always training, always finding field work, always lifting, like guys that take ball serious. This kid is like a kid I'm always jealous, Coach, of. I want kids that their whole life when they played, they were the best player. They were the competent playmaker. They were the one that was going to score all the touchdowns. Like, some of these guys you put on this list, when they were on taxis at 5 years old, they were the ones scoring the 5 touchdowns per game. Right. Dylan kind of models that to me, in my opinion. And again, a great player. He's got great coaching staff with him that get on the ball. I continue to see he's only a sophomore right now. So you see him growing over the next 2 years and probably being not just division players to watch, but eventually being somebody that's going to be South Jersey players to watch.
For sure. We talk about you being a beach bum, Coach. Let's stay down the shore here with the next 2 teams. Yeah. You got Lucas DiBiaso from Mainland. Talk about Lucas.
Yeah, so Lucas, I just think of, again, another football family. Older brother Rocco is playing at Kutztown. Was a great player on the state championship team and the sectional championship teams that they've had over the last few years. I have always loved Mainland. So when I was a head coach of Clearview, we played them, it seemed like, every year, and it was always a great game, and it mattered in both towns, right? Well, now I live here, and I can tell you, I can count on more than one hand the amount of school bus parades that come by after Mainland wins a championship. I'm like, sure. I love that. Not only is the town have a ton of prestige and pride, but it's important, right? And the teams are winning. And it, whether it was, we had baseball drive by, we had girls basketball, boys basketball, there's football. And like, I always bring my girls out and watch. I'm like, I record it and I send it to their coaches. Like, it's cool. But anyway, with Lucas, he's a player that contributed immediately. Really explosive. You check out his film as well. His first play, he's just out of the backfield, catching a pass, and boom, he's down the sideline and outrunning everybody. He's in a different gear, but he's showing things that players at the next level need. Talking to Coach Chuck Smith, I mean, this guy, he's been all county, he's been a division all-star, he's been all public, the different postseason accolades and honors. He could be on either side of the ball. Like, he's a player to watch, right? He's probably going to be a top linebacker for him again this upcoming season. And then he's also is going to be, he's their returning leading rusher. So just a great player, heads up football player, made a ton of huge plays and has more that he's going to continue to make. For sure.
Let's go down to Ocean City, where we got Coach Sean Matthews and his Ocean City team. Talk about Jake Chapman and his year coming up for the Ocean City football team.
Yeah, so Jake is a pretty successful, especially in two sports that we're aware of, but he's obviously a multi-sport athlete. Plays defensive end for Ocean City for Coach Sean Matthews. Coach Sean Matthews is in his high school and college Hall of Fame, and he's got some monster boys that are going to be playing for that team someday. My nephews, that's why I know this pretty well. And with Jake, he's just a game changer. Like, he is a guy, when you watch on film, he's a monster. Like, he is explosive off of the edge. You got to know where he's at. Tackles in the backfield, destroys pulling linemen, sacks, quarterback strip sacks. Like, he affects the game big time. Was playing linebacker originally. They moved him to defensive end, and he's just never looked back. Great player. Right. I think he's going to be a great college player. He's made a run in wrestling. He made it to states this past year. And he's not even like a natural wrestler. He's just he wrestles, but he's not
big.
He's not on the mat every week, year round. Like, he's just a big, strong, tough dude, great football player. And those last two are probably part of what I think. I'm biased. I live down here, but I think it's the best rivalry in South Jersey, right? Yeah. The Battle of the Bridge, they call it. Mainland and Ocean City, great football on both sides of the bay there. And I know those two are both going to contribute to another chapter of that this upcoming season. So
another great. Yep.
Ocean City Red Raiders, great player, going to be a menace on the defensive side of the ball again this upcoming season.
For sure. Another great division there with the Classic Division and American Division, Classic Division today. That's what we're covering. Next week on the Daily Move No Huddle segment, we will cover the Colonial and the Constitution Division. So make sure you guys are checking in for that. Hey, Coach, that's been our No Huddle segment, all right? We're supposed to do this thing in 8 minutes to 10 minutes. It's been 29 minutes. That's just the way we're rolling here, but that's exactly why we're doing this second show. Join us Tuesday night live. We'll be back for another episode of the Daily Move podcast. I'll be coming to you live from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Coach, enjoy your weekend. Have a good Easter. Spend some time with your family, and we'll catch you guys on Tuesday night. Again, thank you for listening, everybody, and keep liking, sharing, whatever you guys do. Coach, what do you got? You always end the show with what?
Coach, I'm going to say this first, too. I'm going to put a challenge out, man. We want our goal to be over 100,000 engagements this week, right? We made it to 70, but as we said, end the show. Coach, be safe. Let's find a way to win.
Find a way to win, baby. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday night. Thanks for listening.